Hello and welcome everyone to the first episode of our podcast, which is The Rumblings of an Otaku, where we discuss about some of the most loved, hated, revered, controversial anime, manga, manhwa, and webcomics of all time. As this is my first podcast, I will stumble at first and might be rough around the edges, but I hope that you would bear with me and join me on this wonderful journey of exploring the world of anime, manga, manhwa, and manhwa. With that out of the way, let us get to our topic for today. We are here today with an anime, manga, and film series, which is very close to not only my, but also the heart of thousands of others who have watched it and have been exposed to it during its 28 years of existence. The eponymous Detective Conan, which is also known as Case Closed to the West. I chose the series primarily because of how important it was to me and my journey into this world. Most people I know started their anime journey through Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, or Death Note. But for me, my first anime was Detective Conan, which has stuck with me from the very first time I watched it to now, almost 16 years later, when I watched over 500 anime, read over 1000 manga, manhua combined, and over 200 Japanese, Korean, and Chinese novels. It was my first step and probably the most significant one. I would probably have also credited Dragon Ball Z as my most significant anime, if not for Detective Conan. Detective Conan is a manga and anime series following teenage detective Kudo Shinichi, who, due to an experimental poison, was turned into a 6-year-old child who has to stay with his childhood best friend and crush, the karate champion Ran Mori, and a drunkard former police father who has started his own private investigation firm. The premise of the show is simple. Having turned into a child due to an experimental drug APTX 4869, which is supposed to be a poison which can't be found in the system of its victims post-mortem, and he has to use Rand's father's detective agency to find out clues about the mysterious and the elusive black organization and the alcohol codenamed Executive Gin and Vodka, who were the people who drugged him with APTX 4869, and develop an antidote to reverse its effect. But things are not as simple. Kogoro, who has been historically a famous marksman but not a good detective, along with his severe alcoholism and lack of work, will not make things easy for the great detective. Thus, he has to first restore the image of Ran's father, Kogoro, and along the way, make friends with the FBI, the National Police Agency's Security Bureau of Japan, the police from various prefectures, and even some of the former members of the black organization to chip away at them and to once and for all end this criminal organization responsible for blackmail, robbery, murder, espionage, assassination, among other criminal activities. This series has been running ever since Gosho Ayama sensei first started writing it in January of 1994. It has consistently been in the top 10 anime every year and has over 1000 episodes of anime, 1000 chapters, and 100 volumes of the manga, making it one of the top 10 longest running series of all time. While the premise itself is not super difficult, this show offers a surprising amount of intricacies and details for a show aimed towards kids and teens. Although the show follows a formula and there are certain episodes you can predict, there are also clues which have tremendous amounts of detail. And while some episodes are straightforward whodunit, some require an intricate knowledge of Japanese language, culture, slangs, and while some deal with robbery, some murder, some espionage, some deal with phantom thieves like Kaito Kid and Lupin III, the most interesting episodes are definitely the ones directly adapted from the manga, and the ones which deal with the black organization, as those have stakes which most episodes don't. One thing to keep in mind is over the course of these 1000 episodes and the manga chapters following its 26 years of serialization, we are canonically only 1 year into the Detective Conan timeline, and during this time, there have been thousands of deaths in the series, making it one of the deadliest series of all time, and Shinichi or Conan are the literal disaster magnets. Now, I'm not talking about the 13 OVAs or original video animation, the 26 anime movies, or the 3 episode live action series they had, because they are not considered as canon. Now that you have the necessary background information, let us get into the series and talk about some of the things I loved, hated, enjoyed, and want more of in the series. And at the end of it, I would give my Otaku score, which should be from 1 to 10. And by the end of it, I hope that if you have never seen or even heard of Detective Conan in your life, you'd be interested enough to check it out and watch it. Now, first of all, let me get over my negatives and then gush over how good this series really is. My first gripe with the series is the often lack of stakes. Don't get me wrong, the series deals wonderfully with tension and builds up suspense and mystery. At the end of the day, there are very few episodes or chapters which actually bring about any long lasting changes or impact the series. Now, counterpoint for which is that I really enjoy these episodes and the movies as well, knowing that they are not canon and they can go crazy with it and not ruin the actual story. My second gripe is that once in a while they should change the formula used in determining the criminal. Now, I won't reveal the formula and ruin your watching or reading experience, but I hope that they add more twists that way. My third and final gripe with this series are with the movies. Now, I said that I won't be elaborating upon them because they aren't canon, but they are wonderful movies. They're grandiose and the stakes are so high because they're self-contained and an amazing addition to the series. But I hope they make them canon, or at least a few of them, and actually use them and have some impact in the plot, not just as a throwaway line, but with some tangible changes to the series. Okay, so now that all of that is over, let us talk about the positives. First, I've told you about how much I love this series. I can't describe how much joy it brings to me to talk about it and hopefully interest hundreds or hopefully even thousands of people to check this wonderful series out. While I've spoken at length about the episodes or the chapters without impact to the storyline or the lack of tangible change, I absolutely love and adore the ones that do. One of my favorite arcs of any anime of all time is the Scarlet arc, where Conan works with the FBI and is probably the most high stakes, high impact arc of all of the series. The raw emotions, the fear, the suspense, the mystery, the action, and the reveals, all of which combined together make it one of the best anime arcs of all time, at least to me. It is constantly high tension and it maintains throughout until finally the adrenaline rushes over, along with the reveal and the endorphins which are released. I love the intricately crafted stories, the side characters, the clues, and the episodes where you can tag along for the ride, and also the episodes where you can solve the case before it is shown in the anime. Professor Gasa is the amazing grandpa everyone needs, and Aihabara is the partner and the teammate everyone desires and is afraid of if she's in the opposing team. And they provide for a great dynamic with a great detective. I would rate Detective Conan as 8 out of 10 in the Otaku score because of the nostalgia, the impact it has had on me, the intricately crafted story, the wonderful scenes, the interactions with some of the side characters, and for constantly being there for us for longer than I am even alive. I hope that you check out this wonderful series and let me know how you find it. I hope that you have had a wonderful day. Let me know if there are any particular anime you would like me to talk about in the next episode. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.